Is that it? Yes, we're on. We were having a conversation this morning that I thought, it is interesting about human beings. I think most of us are dissatisfied and upset. And it's kind of like a human condition, I think, is what I would call it. We want so much based on so little that when we don't get it, we get bitter and twisted and wonder why we're doing everything the way that we're doing it. So to have a conversation with another human being becomes difficult unless the other human being agrees with everything that you say. If they agree with everything you say, then it's a great conversation. The problem is, though, most of us don't agree with everything. And if we say something that the other person doesn't like, then it all kind of, oh, shall I have to come down now?
No, go on.
Okay, all right. So it becomes difficult because we desperately want to be happy, but the very nature of who we are isn't. We want what we want when we want it. We want kind of instant gratification. We want to know that everybody's on our side, which of course they aren't. So we're up against this bing, 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 bing all the time of how do I get through life and how do I say things that make people think, oh, I'm a clever, wonderful person, because I don't want them to think that I'm an idiot. So we're going through this process of understanding each other, and we've got people downstairs knocking away. So if you hear tapping, don't worry, it's just me beating my head against the wall. A cup of tea always makes things better.
Well, so yes, I absolutely agree with everything that you've just said, because I was thinking back to the Barbie movie and how, it's great because, it puts women's voices forward and strong and powerful, and, we want a place at the table and all of that equality. But if nobody agrees with it, it's really tough, and then so we walk away from that movie feeling empowered as a woman and probably as a man, like, yeah, I agree with that. We want equality and that. And then in your own little space, like you say, we still want people to agree with us. And so we're kind of on a hiding to nothing, really. I'm not sure what that phrase means exactly.
I don't know. It just seems to me, the older I've got, and, we've dealt with thousands and thousands of people in our life with our company doing training programs about leadership and team building and all kinds of wonderful subjects, which I agree, they're wonderful and they sound right, and wow, if only I was one of those. And what it seems to be that we're all just struggling with the fact that we don't really like anything.
What the hell does that mean? We don't like anything?
We don't like anything that isn't exactly what we like.
Oh, right.
So if I say something to you that you don't like, that can be the end of the conversation completely. I mean, it's just gone.
Right.
How dare he?
Yes.
And then when you do that to me, I'm going, oh my God, what?
Yeah.
I never said anything.
Right.
To me, it was a perfectly normal thing to say.
Yes.
But to somebody else, it's an absolute, well, that's it, it's the end. I'm not going to converse with you anymore.
And we teach not to take things personally, but we take things personally all the time.
But that's the whole point.
Yeah.
The whole point is it's all personal.
It is all personal. God, how the hell do we deal with it?
Well, we've got to do everything. It's also one of the other sneaky things is that we do everything by degree. So we've got very happy people in the world who are on the Richter scale here.
Yes.
And we've got very unhappy people who are on the Richter scale here.
Yeah.
and you're in there somewhere, and I'm in there somewhere, and we're not. Now, depending on the subject, I can either go, very upset and unhappy, or, wow, that was really cool, I loved that bit.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's just doing this all the time.
Yes.
We're just going backwards and forwards all the time because of the degree with which we hold things dear to us. If I want to be happy, whatever that, we'll do the King George, whatever that means, it's really hard work to be happy. It's so much easier to be pissed off.
Right.
There's something in our gene pool as human beings where we look for a silver lining.
Well, so what
the
happened?
opposite of a silver lining.
Yeah, I mean, so this is the story of what happened this morning. So I woke up early and I went for my walk, and I'm listening to Mel Robbins, who's talking about hunger, actually. And if you can't make it in the kitchen, the food, which most products in a box you can't, don't eat it. Anyway, that's a whole nother topic.
More bullshit.
But I'm listening to that, and then halfway through I get a text from a friend about a problem. Somebody's sad, somebody's unhappy, and this friend feels bad about that. And so we're texting backwards and forwards, and I'm, kind of like, well, you're a strong person, you blah, blah. So we're doing this. And then when I get home, at the moment that I get home, you're coming out the door with our grandson and you're taking him to soccer. So, but I'm in my sweats and my cap and everything. But I say, I'll come along with you. So great, get in the car, we all go. And we drop our grandson off at the soccer field. And now we're in the car. Then I start telling you about what happened, this text. And I start reading you the text. And blah, blah. And in my mind, you interrupted before I got to tell you my great text back to this person, which
but I read your great text back.
No, you didn't.
I did, babe. I just read it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And was it great?
Yes, it's great.
Well,
it had nothing to do with what I interrupted you about, but
well,
never
exactly,
mind.
Because you interrupted my flow, and I went into a deep depression because I was wanting to. Anyway, but that was...
Tell me how great you are at doing text.
Exactly.
That's all this is.
Not at doing
God,
text.
And here we go again.
Coaching. I wanted to...
Just to tell me how great you are.
Yes.
I know how great you are. That's disgusting to try and get...
So you just interrupted
I just want
that
to show
again.
You how great you are.
You are a big interrupter. Do you know that?
And you're not.
No, I am not.
If there is a God, you should be plucked out of this seat immediately.
So anyway, so that was that, and I took it personally, and then you took it personally, and we both took it. And so anyway, how did we get out of this? We did get out of it because we got home,
getting out of it.
And you went to go to the bank, and I meditated on this beautiful heart meditation, and I was sending love to myself and everybody else on the planet, and I got into this quantum field of love and joy, and oh, for God's sake, it was wonderful. And then you came back.
See, here we go. But I came back.
No, it was great. And you came back, and then we were like, shall we podcast? Shall we go? Anyway, and we did it. We kind of
And
like...
here we are now.
Yeah, and here we are now talking to you about...
And none of what we've said makes
this.
any difference to the world. I just thought I had quite a sort of a little opening of awareness. Now, I keep getting a little awareness openings, but they don't mean anything. Like, I'm thinking, my God, we don't really like ourselves. And we find it very difficult. So the only way we compensate is to be overcompensating by saying to everybody else, oh, you're doing such a wonderful job and everything is great and it's wonderful. And it isn't.
What?
But we can't say the truth. Because if we said the truth, of course, every human being would be dead on the planet. Because we'd kill each other.
Well, just a minute. Come on.
Go
Time
on.
out here.
Walk your way
It
out
is
of this
not
one.
the truth that everything is shitty. It just
I
because...
didn't say that.
Well, you didn't use that word shitty, but
No,
you were saying we don't...
everything. I said it's not true.
You said we don't
Telling
like
people
ourselves.
how great they are when they're not.
Oh,
That's all.
I don't...
That's all. And I think
No.
the only way we ever learn is by understanding it. If I'm
I
we're interrupting
I totally
again.
have to interrupt this because
yes,
I
of
so
course you do.
disagree with you on this. I agree that it's very difficult to enjoy yourself and like yourself. So we have this inbuilt, don't like myself. But but that doesn't mean that the truth is that we are unlikable. The truth is that we're amazing, talented, gorgeous, fabulous people. And that's what we need to engender in other people. So we do need to tell others. I mean, research...
Even if they're not.
Research has said
Look
that the best...
Even if they're not.
Well,
now walk your way through that.
But they are.
But
they are in some way. Everybody has some...
I'm never arguing. In some way, we're all amazing,
so that's what we have to
talented,
find.
gorgeous, fabulous.
That's the bit that we have to find.
That's the bit we have to find, not the bit that says you're gorgeous, amazing, talented, but you're not on this thing.
No, I just...
This thing you're not. But we'll keep telling you how gorgeous, fabulous and amazing you are, even when you're not.
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do understand what you're saying. Because that person is going to take it like, oh, I'm not as bad as I think I am. There's someone there that thinks I'm great.
So they just carry on doing the same thing.
Well, just a minute.
Of course
what
they do.
Are you
They can't help
about?
it. So they carry on doing the same thing, not knowing that what they're doing is not right.
Right. I think you have to be specific about this. What are you talking about?
Well, this person who thinks, whatever's going on with this person and this other person, we can't name that. It becomes pathetic.
Let's call them Al and Jenny.
So, okay then.
No,
so
Al
Jenny,
and Bim. I don't know what the fuck.
But it's Jenny and Janie.
Right.
Not Al.
Jenny and Janie.
Al wouldn't have the same thing.
Piss off.
So
You're now
Ali...
bringing gender into this? Fuck off. Men go to war, men fight.
What has that got to do with
It's got everything
anything?
to do with it. You're saying that you're saying it's
men,
women.
Men are shorter thinkers than... So
which is why you go to war. We talk things out and we come to peace.
No, you come to just everybody's great. And nobody is, but never mind.
Oh my
Which
God.
is probably starts the wars. Have you thought of that one? So... Charming. Very good. So I rest my case. You see what I'm up against.
All right then. So these two people,
Unbelievable.
we'll call it a man and a woman. Yes. What are they doing specifically?
No.
All right.
It's a woman and a younger woman.
Okay.
How about that?
All right.
Let's bring the truth back in again.
Oh,
Woman
God.
and a younger woman.
No, do you know what? I'm not having it because it could be a young man and a young woman. I mean, come on, and don't tap the table.
There wouldn't be all the conversation that went on.
Yes, there would.
Wouldn't have happened.
We've had things go on with young men in our lives that have had problems that we've had to talk through.
Well, of course.
Yes, so it's not just... You're making it out that it's
not
just
the
women.
Of conversation.
No, I'm not having it. I'm not.
Not the 40-page document.
No, I'm not having it. No, not.
See? So it doesn't really matter.
Men have just as many problems and they talk things through just as much as women do. No, actually,
differently.
Yeah, differently. But I'm not going to have.
All I'm saying.
I'm not doing our podcast that it's women
the same way.
It's the problem. It might not happen the same way.
But I'm trying to talk about. You said now. Come on, get factual in what's going on.
Yes.
And then immediately it's got to be a man and a woman. It was two women.
All right, go on
Correct?
and tell the story. Yes, it was in this
So
particular
that's
case. Okay.
Again, so an older woman with a younger woman. The younger woman's feeling sad for whatever reason. And the older woman is saying, what can I do? And how to get, because of and it might be all my fault because of the way I've been about being nervous and freaked out about meeting people and checking with it. And the answer is yes.
Okay.
That's right.
All right.
But we can't say that.
No.
Why not?
Because that would destroy somebody, potentially.
But how do they know anything if we just keep telling them how great everything is?
Right. Well, so let me tell you.
Yes.
as a woman,
Oh,
and especially if we've been mothers, aunts, whatever, as a woman, we have a lot of responsibilities in bringing up our kids, our children, lots of responsibilities. And it's easy when we get older and the kids are older to feel guilty and anxious and that we've said and done the wrong things
because you probably have.
Because it's all our responsibility. Correct. In many
so you
cases.
Take the responsibility.
Now here's the thing though, Jeff, is you cannot allow that person to then go through the rest of their lives feeling bad about what they've done because they did their best.
Suggest that.
But you are suggesting that. You're saying, oh yes, then tell them that they did the wrong thing.
Do you want to hear what I would have said?
What would you have said?
I said, that's right. You know the way that you've lived your life.
Yes.
That you've been overprotective or whatever it's called, or for instance, it's perfectly normal. That's what we do because we're scared of everything. Mm-hmm. You were scared of everything. And of course, other people, especially children, pick up on it instantly and become that if they are inclined to be that way. So they instantly get it.
Right.
So it's just the way it is. I'm as guilty as you, you're as guilty as that. We are all in our little schmickles of being guilty of not being great. We don't know how to bring children into the world. We don't know what to do with them. We hope we're doing it the right way. We would like them to be wonderful, amazing people. They're not going to be. They're going to be whatever they are. That's okay, because we're all okay. We're doing whatever we can. So we've got to take responsibility for that and then say, okay, so what do I do about it now? Let me sit down with the younger girl and say, this is what's happening. You're doing this because you're frightened and upset. How do you want to stay that way? Do you want to stay that way, or do you want to be better than? To be better than, you talk to yourself about, wait a minute, there's actually nothing going on. The things that she's upset and worried about don't even exist.
Agreed.
But now they're huge.
Agreed.
We've got to bring it back down to normal.
Well, I agree.
I thank you.
This is from the Court of General G's court, where everything... In General G's court, he's absolutely right with everything that he says and does. And I agree with you that you're right. And I think we have to be very gentle with each other because we do beat ourselves up so much.
Do we?
Yes, we do. Especially women. We beat ourselves up and we feel responsible and we can't do that. Like at my age of being 74, I know I did shitty things as a mom. I mean, I could have done much better and in many different ways, but I did the best that I could. Now I have to say, like, you know what? I did the best that I could, and I am amazing and fabulous and talented and gorgeous, and because I do, Jeff. Because
yes,
I don't want to carry on feeling shitty.
No, what I'm talking about is the fact that you can say, when I was bringing up my children, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I've made mistakes up the yin-yang. I've probably said things I should never have said to them, done things I should never have done to them. Yes,
right.
That's exactly right, because we're all doing that.
Right.
So we all know that we're doing that. We don't know how. Nobody gave us anything to help us through this muddle of having children in a partnership, getting through life.
Do you want to just...
No, see? No. Right, that's it now. I'm going to do a vow.
Oh, God. It's just you have a drink of tea and then it's...
Why is it necessary to do that in front of everyone?
Because it's funny and this is supposed to be funny.
No, it's funny to you.
It's very funny to me.
And let me go back again.
Carry on.
So, but the whole point is, none of us can seem to admit that we're desperately trying to work things out, not knowing what the answer is. We had 2 kids at an early age. I remember coming home with the first one, and we're in the car crying because we've no fucking idea what to do.
I know.
Now, my mother was full of advice and that, but it doesn't. The advice that we're getting doesn't work when you've got this little bundle that suddenly, Jesus, I've got to look after this the rest of my life. I have to look after this. So, and being who I am and you are, we make mistakes. Being who they are and them and over here and backwards, we're all making mistakes. Some of them are horrendous mistakes that we do with our children. And some of them are little mistakes and they grow up. But if we don't understand the mistakes that we're making, we can never improve it. All I'm saying is particularly this day and age, we're into praising people when they're not. I mean, you just look at what's happening in Congress and you hear these guys praising each other for being absolute assholes.
Okay.
I mean, really?
Well,
When do we understand about life? When can we not sit down and recognize what we are and what we do and say, how do we get better at it? Not, how can we keep telling everybody how great they are?
I totally agree, General G, in your court of absolute positivity. I don't know. I do agree with you, but no, not
always a but.
No. There is not a but in this case. I agree with you, and we have to just kind of be aware of who's saying it and what time of life they're in and where they're at, and and
I agree.
And research says that praising someone is a lot better at getting them to change Who
says this?
I can't remember
experts,
the research.
Here we go again with experts. I'm telling you now, if you go anywhere on any technology vehicle, we're all being told by experts about everything. Everybody is an expert now.
Right.
And I honestly believe that most of it's just bullshit. It's how to make money. I'll become an expert. I'm actually doing what I say. Maybe they're even doing that. They're leading this life because this is how you lead your life and this is what you do and meditate and and they're making millions. The rest of us try to meditate and it's really hard. We've done it for years, meditating.
Look at us.
2 or 3 hours at a time meditating. And there is no answer. I think this is what I'm coming to.
Right.
There is no answer about our life as human beings.
I have an answer.
Okay.
No, go on. All there is no, really, I really do want to hear what you're going to say.
Just what's the
answer?
No,
please say what all there is.
A step at a time.
One step at a time.
One day after another. Today, what's going to happen? I'm probably, she who must be obeyed is going to be saying stuff that I don't agree with. What am I going to do about that? How do I work that? Because I don't want to have conflict. Of course, being me, I open my mouth and immediately there's conflict. But there we are.
General G, I have something to submit to the court. And it's kind of like it's going off on a slight tangent, but not really. So I was listening about this food. Now, no, but this is really important, Jeff, because what they have discovered is that the chemicals that between our brain and our stomach have a huge impact on how we feel. And the
Correct.
chemicals that are in these products that food manufacturers are creating, and it's not even food, on these packages, it's chemicals. You couldn't make it in your kitchen.
Correct.
And these chemicals are basically altering our mood in a very unhappy way. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
they put
what about alcohol?
A huge amount of sugar into a small amount of food, and we get this burst of dopamine, which actually ends up we feel depressed. So I think that with kids and with ourselves, we need to not fucking buy anything that's in a box. Like, just make it food. Food. Vegetables, potatoes, meat, whatever. It's like actual, tangible food. Because when it's in a box, it is mainly chemicals and it is not doing us any good whatsoever. And it's altering our moods and it's making us less happy. How about that?
Well, no argument from me. We've all had, I mean, the times that we've overeaten and how bad we feel and what happens in the morning when your stomach's had to go through all of this, trying to digest this shit. It's terrible. It's the same with alcohol. It's the same with smoking. It's the same with marijuana. It's the same with drugs. Everything that we do as human beings impacts us. Now, why is it that we want to eat lots of food? We want it easy. We want to go to the supermarket, pick it up and do it. Why is it that we drink? Because we can get merry and have a good laugh and diddly-boppity-dee, and smoking is excellent. I still miss smoking to this day. I loved it. But anyway, I stopped it. Has it made me a better person? I don't think it has. I just think it's made me more annoyed that I can't have a cigarette. Do you see what I mean? But as human beings, we're flawed in what we do. We want to do all the crazy things.
Yes.
We want to fly as fast as we possibly can, drive as fast as we possibly can, shout rude things at people because of whatever. It's just the way it is. If we understood it more and accepted who we is, then we could go, hey, I is this way. How am I going to be better at it? Now, to do that, I have to believe that the way that I is not that good. Once we can understand that, then we can start to change the way we is.
Okay, so my biggest thing is sulking. So I'm getting on board with it. It's like when I see myself sulking. Excuse me, General G.
Pardon?
Nobody on the podcast can see you shaking your head in that miserable way.
In amazement that you would even say that. Yes. Go ahead.
What's your thing that you're working on?
Oh, nothing. I think I've got it all worked out.
Oh, fuck off. What's the thing that you're working on? Come on.
Yes. Not to say things.
What?
Well, because somebody says something in a conversation that I go, that's not true. So then I have to go and say it's not true. Now I'm learning to shut up and just let it happen.
Okay.
It's totally wrong. It's probably getting somebody to believe what they've just said, which is even worse. But I will not do anything, because if I do, it just upsets everyone.
Oh.
We can't say something that could be factual or realistic.
Now, just a minute, General G.
Yeah.
I'm hearing that in that you're kind of shutting up, but you don't really think that that doesn't sound to me like you think that that's a problem of yours.
It's certainly not.
Right. Well, so I'm talking about.
I want the people to tell the truth.
What's a problem of yours? What are you working on?
Getting people to tell the truth.
No, that's not. That's just being General G's court.
What do you think? Seriously, what do you think my problem is?
Anger. And irritation.
Oh, certainly irritation. Yes.
Yeah, that's your thing. You need to not be.
I'm not sure I'm angry at. Well,
all right,
yeah,
let's take anger off it. Let's say irritation.
Oh, irritation.
In the car.
Stupidity of human beings.
Right. So, but it isn't the stupidity of human
is.
beings. It's just human beings being human beings.
Being stupid.
Well, you're
Correct.
Stupid, right?
Of course.
So why are you irritated at
because
other people?
Because I minimise my
Oh,
stupidity.
Oh, God.
I'm aware that I'm stupid.
Oh, you
so
weren't even aware when I said to you, "What's your thing?" And you were like, "I don't have anything."
Well, I don't.
Oh, balls!
I'm having to go along with you just in case you start sulking.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Hello? I rest my case again.
Oh, I rest my case, my lord. Jesus Christ. Anyway.
That's half an hour of babbling.
My
again.
God, half an hour of babbling. Well, here's what I'm going to leave everybody with.
Here we go.
It's all about love. Fuck off. It's love yourself. Love your shitty little partner.
Yes, this turd beside
love
you.
Love the other turds in the universe.
Yes, love all the turds, because you too
are a turd.
Without any shadow of a doubt. Say goodnight, Gracie.
We love you. Bye.
Bye.